Alright, so having problems with my pull basket here for the strainer. Looks like the handle has broke on the original basket, so I think I'm gonna use my 3D designing skills, whatever they are, and my 3D printer and make a new one. So here's what we got before, and this is what it's gonna look after. Alright, let's go ahead and make one. Once you open up FreeCAD, make a new file, then import your blueprint. So I made a drawing based on my original handle, and then I took a picture of it and I imported it into FreeCAD. And the next thing you want to do is you want to double click on the name of the picture before you do anything and hit calibrate. And that's going to allow you to measure the exact size of this, right? So you want to make sure that you're actually designing for size. So right now, as it looks like, it's like 347 millimeters. So you don't want that because my design is actually 195 millimeters in total length. So I'm going to type that in, hit enter, and it's going to resize the picture to true size right now. So hit OK. And now we have a true to size picture. So let's start modeling. So create a new body. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to recenter your image here, which you can or you don't have to do, but you can recenter your image to make it look more accurate. So I'm going to try to do that first before anything else. So you want to click on your image and you want to click on position and adjust the XYZ positioning here. And as you can see, you can move it here to approximately put it in the middle of the drawing. So put the plane in the middle of the drawing. So that makes things a little bit easier. For those of you who like to do mirroring, this is a perfect way to mirror, but I'm not going to use the mirroring in this one. I'm going to draw the thing all the way through. So once we have that new body, we're going to need to make a new sketch. So the origin is set, so I'll make a new sketch. And again, we're going to select the plane that we're working with, which is this very plane here, and hit OK. And now we need to find the right tool. So to make these curved arches, what we're going to do is we're going to use a 3-point arch tool. And it's right up here. So click, if you don't see it, click down arrow. And then all you got to do is click 2 points that you want to, you have the finishing, the first and last point of the arch. And then click on the second point. And then drag it up and try to align the best way you can around the curve. The same thing for the other side. You notice I'm going all the way from the bottom, not from the top, but from the bottom here, because I'm going to draw the other part separately here. And same thing, approximate where it's going to end up, and drag it up, and boom, you have it. I'm going to skip that little tip there. I don't want that on top there. So now we have these two curves. So we need to join them. So use a line tool. Click one, click the other. Don't worry about the distances or the length or the positioning just now. What we're going to do is we're going to even them out in a moment here. So using alignment tool. So click both of them and then click the parallel alignment tool. So it's not working. Let's make sure this does one more time here. Drag this down a little bit. There you go. So now it has aligned them, but now I need to align them straight. So that makes them straight, so makes them parallel. So once you do that, you can go ahead and just review your drawing and then go ahead and hit close. Once you hit close, you want to use the pad tool to build up a pad, right? So I'm just checking to make sure that I have something here. And if I hit pad, it's going to tell me that something is not working here. Something may not be closed. So let's see here. It's still not closed. What is it? So, all right, here we go. There was an error for some reason. It was not letting me do it. So I'm going to change that to, because by default it's 10 millimeters. So I'm going to change it to 7. Hit enter. And we have this now handle that's 7 millimeters. So now we're gonna wanna next thing we're gonna do is we wanna create the little tips on either side, right? They're gonna insert into the basket. So I'm gonna pull this up again. I'm gonna turn it sideways here just to make sure that everything is kind of lined up with the pictures. And let's turn this on the side, and let's select an edge that we're going to draw on. So we need to create a new sketch. Now it's not going to let us because it's not a perfectly flat sketch. So I'm going to try to use a little cheat code here. And I know there's other ways of doing this, but this is how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to select the whole body and create a sketch. And as you can see, once I line this up, on a certain plane, I can select the plane where I want to draw on. So I'm going to select on this particular plane, the ZY plane. I'm going to go ahead and click that plane to select it. It's going to rearrange, no big deal, but it's still drawing on the same plane. And then what I want to do is I want to draw a circle here that's going to represent the little peg that's going to insert into the basket. So select your circle tool, draw it up, and then my circle is going to be, I think, 5.2 millimeters in size. And hit enter, and you can see that the circle is actually somewhere in the middle of the screen, right? It's not joined at the edge. So just like I moved the picture, I'm going to use the same principle to move that little circle, the drawing, to the outer edge of the handle. And I'm going to kind of line it, make sure we're in the right direction here. And we're going to start clicking it up, moving it up. And you can see the circle is moving. I know it's about 85 millimeters here, so I'll put in 85 and then see where it ends up. You can kind of turn it and see if it's there. And if it's there, now I'm going to manually try to align it. I'm not going to be precise with this because it doesn't have to be. It's not something that has to be 100% precise. But I'll manually position it. And I'm going to probably retract this back tiny bit into the figure so that when I do create a pad from there, it is going to be embedded into the handle itself, and it's going to protrude from the handle. So normally it's about 10 millimeters, right? That's the standard for my pad here. You can set up that standard in preferences to whatever you like. I have 10 millimeters. And I think I'm going to change it to, again, 7 millimeters to make it a little bit shorter because it's too long. And boom, there it is. So let's go ahead and work on the other side now. So let's work on the other side of this. So the other side is same thing, same trick. We're going to draw a circle. And again, we're getting an error because it's not a flat surface. So select the whole body and click on the draw your sketch. Again, select your plane where you're going to draw and duplicate the circle. And again, you're not drawing exactly on the handle itself, you're drawing someplace else. So again, same distance, 5.2 millimeters in diameter. And as you can see, the circle's there. So I'm just going to turn the handle the other way. And this is a little clumsy for me sometimes, so I apologize, but we're going to turn it, and we're going to again do the same thing. Now remember, the last positioning was positive, so now we're going to go in a negative direction, right? So if I move in a positive direction, oops, wrong side here. If I move in a positive direction, that's going to move the drawing in the same spot, so I have to move it in a negative direction. So let's go ahead and type in negative, and let's pad this again, and it's going to be again 10 millimeters, and we're going to adjust this to 7 millimeters. As you can see, the model is pretty much finished here, right? So we have a handle, we have 2 pegs that are going to go in the holes in the basket. So the only thing that's really left to do here on the model is to make these pegs a little smoother, right? So we're going to use a fillet tool, and we're going to just put in whatever default. I think it's 1 millimeter here on a fillet tool, and we're going to do the same thing on both sides, just to make sure that they are the pegs are a little smoother to go in and a little smaller. So I think they need to be a little bit smaller. So there's the finished And I'm gonna put a fillet as well on the inside, so when I grab the basket, it doesn't have any rough edges. So it won't let me to do some of them because, well, there's some errors with FreeCAD, but also there's some things that CAD doesn't do very well yet, and so I'm not gonna do that right now. So we're gonna do the interior fillet only. I can adjust size of the fillet. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So we're just gonna forego that for now. And there's the final product. So let's compare it to the drawing here that I have. So let's enable the view on the drawing and let's take a look at it. And it looks like it's gonna fit. I mean, there's some minor differences between what we have, but I think overall it's going to be a good fit. So we're gonna save this and export this, and we're gonna export this to make sure that in the STL format, so that our printer, 3D printer, can handle that. I use Bambu printers; they work pretty good. So we have that exported. So let's go ahead and launch the printer. Once the printer loads, or once the Bambu Studio printing program loads, I'm going to import the file that I just created. So we're going to load it up, and there it is. And one of the things that I'm going to enable is I'm going to enable supports for this. I can see already because the little pegs, they look like they're hanging in the air. So let's enable support, and let's reslice this to make sure that we don't have any hanging edges, because the printer can't handle that. So as you can see, there's some extra support material that's going to be built up, and it's easy scrapable material, so you can go ahead and send that to the printer and it will start printing. Just going to review the layers here to make sure that it looks like it's going to be pretty solid. It looks pretty good. I usually look through a couple of different features here and review this, but you don't have to do this. This works pretty well. So let's go ahead and send it to the printer. This took about maybe 18 to 20 minutes to print. So I put it on a better quality print because I wanted to last for a while. All right, so I got the basket out. Now this thing's completely broken. Let's test it out, see if we can fit it. So right here are the little holes where this goes in. So let's slide one in on this side. Let's slide one in on this side. And it's perfect. Hides perfectly here. All right, let's see how long it's gonna last. Not bad.